Hello everybody, welcome to some chair yoga with Krissy, and today I'm going to use these blocks, or it's a possibility. So if you have yoga blocks at home, go and grab them, but if you don't, you could equally do this with two similar sized books. And you may not need them at all, but I was going to take us through a little bit of chair sun salutation here. So this is not a necessity, but could be a useful little prop. So chair yoga is great for those of us that are working from home at the moment through this isolation, but equally it's good for those of us that have, maybe our wrists are a little sore or our knees aren't so good, and so we get to take a lovely stretch and a little bit of flow while we're sitting on our chair. So if you are at your desk, it's easy just to sort of push yourself away, but what I would suggest you get is a chair that doesn't have any armrests, if possible, and that one that has a backing, so that when we take some twists we have something to hold on to. And first and foremost, bring your feet onto the floor, give them a little shake, give your arms a little shake, give the body a little bit of a shake, and then bring your hands onto your thighs and just get yourself nice and comfortable here. And before I start any yoga practice, I always like to spend a little bit of time settling in. And what that means is that you take some time to transition from whatever has been going on in the outside world and in your day, and just let yourself fully arrive in your space. Now, we're not on a mat today, we're in a chair. So let yourself get set and settled into your chair. Feet on the floor and hands onto the thighs. There's quite a few flies outside here today, so if you see my hand doing the old wave, it's just good old Queensland flies buzzing around my head. Okay, so let's close down our eyes and take some deep breaths here, and I'd really like you to lift your shoulders up as you inhale and drop them with a nice deep sigh out through the mouth. Let's do that again. And again. The arms a bit more of a shake. And now, eyes closed down. Connect to your breath. Soften your shoulders. Relax your chest. Turn the corners of your mouth up to form a smile. So you're happy to be here. You're happy to take some time just to stretch the body. Take one more nice deep breath. See if you can take this breath all the way down the back of the throat, through the lungs, into the belly, Expand from the belly, through the torso, into the chest, and then soften on the exhale as you let that breath escape the lungs. Diaphragm muscle shifts up, and lastly the belly. And open your eyes, and we're going to just take a little bit of time to move through a little bit of side neck and back and front neck kind of movement, and then we'll move the spine a little and take some twists and see where we go from there. So just let your chin gently rest down onto your chest, and then roll the right ear to the right shoulder, and then come back and to the chest, and then roll over to the left, and let's go again. Let's add the breath, Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale to the left. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale to the right. Now hold on this right side, and just gently as you inhale, draw your left shoulder up towards the left ear, and then on the exhale, slowly drop it away. Feel that nice stretch down the left side. Beautiful. And then can you bring your left hand back onto your thigh and roll the chin to the chest on the inhale, and exhale left ear to left shoulder, hold here, and gently draw that right shoulder up towards the right ear with your in-breath, and on the out-breath, slowly drop it away. Bring that hand back onto your thigh, inhale, chin to chest, and on the exhale, let's just bring that neck to a nice neutral position. Now, I'm just going to go side on here so you can see what I'm doing. This is just a nice movement, kind of like a cat and cow movement if we were on hands and knees. So you're going to take the hands to the front of the chair and roll the back, yeah? And as you come forward, draw the shoulders back. So take an inhale here, and then exhale round, so navel comes to spine like that would be our cat shape. And then inhale, bring the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. You can send the gaze towards the ceiling, and then exhale back into the cow. So I want you just to do this maybe 3 or 4 times. You can do this as slow or fast as your body requires. It's just a nice way to warm a little through the spine. Let's take one more. Beautiful. And then find that nice relaxed spine, and let's just come back through center here, and we can inhale, bring the hands to meet in prayer, and exhale, hands to the heart. So what I'm going to get you to do now is inhale. Now as you exhale, let your right hand take hold of the right side of the chair, and this will just give you a little bit of comfort so that we're not going to fall as we now take a nice side bend to the right. And I'll get you to just see if you can soften that shoulder a little away from the ear, and lift on your inhale, and take that little crescent shape on the exhale, and let's go again. Inhale and lift, exhale and reach. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take this into a little bit of a twist here. So as you inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, let's take that right hand behind and bring the left hand now into the side of the chair. And then inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, let your shoulder draw back, and feel the shoulder draw the rib cage and chest towards the back of the room. And then let your head and neck follow just a fraction of a second behind, yeah? Keep that neck nice and safe. So on the inhale, bring your head and neck back to center, rest of the body, and lift the arms towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands to the heart. And then inhale, lift the arms, fingers touch, and let the left hand touch down this time. So you're going to take hold of the side of the chair. Take your breath in, and on the breath out, soften into that left elbow and bring that right hand to the side. And little pulsations, little lift on the inhale, go a little bit deep on the exhale. And let's go again. Inhale to lift, exhale to reach. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now we're setting up for a twist here. So inhale, come back through center. Take this left arm behind it. On the exhale, bring the right hand to the side of the chair now. So we can inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, your head and neck turn. So take a nice deep breath in on that. Breath in, elongate through the spine, crown of the head towards the ceiling. And on the breath out, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, your head and neck. So let's inhale, come back through center, bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands to the heart. Now we're going to take a little chair sun salutation, and this is where your blocks might come in handy, maybe. So what I'd like you to do is inhale, bring the hands to meet in prayer, and exhale. Guide the hands all, now we're going to lean over and bring the hands all the way to the floor. Now you could have your hands on the blocks here, yeah? So I'm just going to do this first one slowly with you. From the hands on the floor, we're going to inhale, lift off the butt and find a nice halfway lift with our next breath in. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then we sit back down onto our chairs and inhale, roll all the way up. Bring the hands to meet in prayer, tall mountain pose, and exhale, bring the hands into your heart space. So I might turn side on so you can see what that looks like side on. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, we fold down. And then on the inhale, we lift off the chair, yeah, on our next breath. And then we can take a little halfway lift. Maybe we hold here, hands halfway in the shins, so we're in our halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, sending the buttocks towards the back. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, roll back down. And then let yourself sit back down on your chair and inhale, roll all the way back up. Shall we try one more together? Kind of a chair sun salutation. Now I'll do this one with the block, yeah? So have the blocks here. Inhale, lift the arms, hands meet in prayer. Exhale, we fold down over the chair. Now your hands could here come to the blocks as we lift off the chair. And you're using the blocks as support here. Take a breath in. Now that we know what we're doing, on the exhale, we can sit back down on our chair for this one. And then inhale, take that nice slow spinal roll. Hands meet in prayer. And exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. And then bring your hands back onto your thighs. So we've just in effect taken a kind of chair sun salutation, variations of different ones. We've taken almost 3 different kinds. So I'm just going to pop these to the side so that they are not in the way, and move my little clicker. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, beautiful. So let's now take a little bit of what we call goddess pose. So we're going to bring our legs out to the side and just open up a little through the inner thighs, because our hips get a little stiff if we've been sitting at our desk all day. But it's also a nice way if it's not chair yoga because you're sitting at your desk, and it could be that you have sore knees or sore wrists or whatever we're doing. Let's bring, now if you like, and it's within your practice, you can absolutely lift your buttock off the chair and come to full goddess pose. I'm going to do it on the chair so you can see what's going on. So let's bring our hands to the thighs and take a little stretch through the shoulders, yeah? So take an inhale. And as you exhale, let your right shoulder drop to the center, and you'll turn and look over your left shoulder here. And then we'll inhale and come back through center. And exhale, the left shoulder drops, and we turn and look over the right shoulder. And then come back again. Inhale through center. Exhale, over the left, right shoulder drops to the center. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop through the left. Nice. And then inhale back through center. And as you exhale, just give the shoulders a roll up, back and down. Now we're going to bring our feet back in to hip distance, and maybe here we extend the legs out and give them a little bit of a shake. But let's keep the legs extended here, yeah? And inhale, lift the arms, and exhale, take a little forward fold. Your hands might just rest onto your shins, or maybe the thighs, or maybe they touch the toes. And hold here for 3 breaths. So we can take a nice, so lift a little on the inhale and lower a little on the exhale. A nice kind of forward fold here. One more. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. And then inhale, lift the torso, and once again bend the knees and bring them back in. And I'd just like you to gently lift your right knee in here, and let's rotate a little through that ankle joint. Beautiful, beautiful. Hold that knee in with your right hand and bring your left arm out to the side. And maybe you turn your gaze here to the left as well. Take one more breath in. And then on the breath out, bring that left hand back in and give it a nice little shake. Now we're going to cross that ankle over the knee and just place your right hand onto the inside of that knee. The left hand can stay on the top of the foot. And take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just lower your chest. Now we're going to stay here, but inhale to lift just a little and exhale to lower a little more. So this is like a figure four pigeon, yeah? So we're just working with a nice stretch through the outside of that right glute. One more. And then inhale and lift, and can we bring that knee back into the chest, and maybe we extend the leg out in front and bring the arms out to the side, and take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, lower the leg, give the legs that little bit of a shake. Da-da-da. And let's draw the left knee in here, holding the knee in. Taking that right arm out to the side, and maybe you turn your gaze to the right here as well. And then bring that hand back in, hug the knee in, and we'll cross that left elbow over the right knee now. And just want to gently press away through the inside of that inner left knee, and maybe right hand takes hold of the foot. Take a deep breath in. And then on the breath out, we lower down. So we want to feel this stretch into that left glute. 3 breaths, a little lift on the breath in, and go that little bit deeper on the breath out. And again. Gently press away on that inhale and draw that left knee back in. Straighten the leg, bring the arms out. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, just we'll hug that knee in again. And then let's pop the legs to the floor, give them a little shake. So what might be nice here to do before we finish up is just take an inhale, bring the hands to meet in prayer, and can we exhale, guide the hands all the way to the navel, fingers interlaced. Inhale, draw the elbows high, lift the hands towards the chin, and exhale, round through that spine to open up a little through the back. And inhale to lift, and exhale here, let's bring the hands behind and interlace the fingers and lift up and away from the buttocks. So we get an opportunity to open a little into the chest here. And then just release the hands back to the heart, and let's do that again, yeah? Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus, fingers interlace. Inhale, lift the hands, elbows high. Exhale, round through your spine. And then inhale to lift the arms. Now you can do this at any time you would like a break. Just press or push away from your desk if you're at your desk, and take 3 of these. Let's bring the hands back to the heart. One more time, inhale. Nice way to open up through the chest and give that back a little bit of a stretch as well. Exhale to the navel. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the elbows nice and high. Exhale, round through your spine. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands all the way behind, fingers interlaced here. Hands up and away from the buttocks. Perhaps you send the gaze to the ceiling, and then bring those hands back to the heart. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me for our chair yoga. What I'd like us to do though is just sit back, and maybe we get to take a little 5-minute Shavasana. So relax back into your chair, sink back, bring your hands onto your hips and legs, let them relax, either bent or straight, your choice, and close down your eyes and just give yourself a few minutes to acknowledge that the lovely work that we've done in our chair yoga is done, and you've spent that little bit of time on self-nurturing and self-care. Soften the shoulders, let the body soften. And let there be a certain heaviness that enters into your body here. And just find your way to 3 more breaths. And know that you can stay here as long as you need to. I'm just going to finish us off here. Thank you so much for joining, and namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.